Hey there, welcome to my daily English podcast, and in this episode, we're going to learn 10 smart English words that you can start using today. So, if you like to improve your English vocabulary with clear examples, then let's get started. You already know the drill. I'll give you the meaning and a simple example so you can remember it. Let's go. The first word is contrast. It means to show differences. In other words, to highlight the dissimilarity between things. Example: the bright yellow of the sunflowers contrasts beautifully with the dark green of the trees. When you contrast things, you notice what makes them different. Now let's look at another example. Your new black shoes contrast nicely with your blue jeans. That means the color of your shoes and your jeans are very different, so they look nice together. Contrast is a verb, but we also have an adjective called contrasting. It means showing differences between things. Example: a contrasting opinion is one that is the opposite of what someone else said. Her contrasting ideas helped us to see another perspective. Another example: a contrasting style is one that is very different from what you usually wear. For example, if you usually wear casual clothes like jeans and t-shirts, then a contrasting style could be a fancy dress or a cocktail dress. Let's move on to the second word, which is merge. To merge means to combine into one. Example: the two companies decided to merge to become stronger together. When things merge, they join and become a single thing. We often talk about roads merging when they join together. For example, two roads merged into one at the end of the town. We can also use merge in a sentence about sounds. For example, the sounds of the two instruments merged to create a beautiful harmony. That means the sounds combine to make something more pleasing. You can also merge with people, especially when you work toward a shared goal. We merged our ideas to come up with the best plan. That means we combined our ideas and got one great idea. All right, moving on to the third word, which is resilient. This means able to recover quickly from difficulty. Example: after losing her job, she felt sad, but she was resilient and soon found another one. Resilient people bounce back. No matter what happens, whether it's a difficult situation, a disappointment, or a failure, resilient people are able to recover and move forward. They are strong in body and mind. They can handle challenging situations without breaking down, and they can adapt to changes and challenges without losing their balance. In fact, if you want to be more resilient, you can do some simple things like keeping a positive attitude, setting realistic expectations, learning from mistakes, and building strong relationships. All these things will help you to be more resilient and overcome any challenge that comes your way. Let's go to the fourth word, which is motivate. To motivate means to make someone eager to take action. Example: a good leader knows how to motivate their team to give their best. Motivating someone is all about inspiring them, encouraging them, and helping them to achieve their goals. Leaders who can motivate their teams are often seen as heroes by their employees. In fact, the best leaders are those who can inspire their team members to do more than they thought possible. But motivating others is not easy. It requires patience, empathy, and understanding. The best leaders develop a personal connection with each member of their team and understand their strengths, weaknesses, and goals. So the next time you want to motivate someone, remember to take the time to connect with them on a personal level and help them to see their own potential. Now, let's look at the fifth word, which is interpret. This means to explain the meaning of something. Example: can you interpret this poem for me? I don't fully understand it. Interpretation is about understanding and explaining what something means. Interpreters translate words from one language to another, but they also help people to understand the meaning behind the words. For example, a doctor might ask a nurse to interpret the results of a test. That means the nurse would explain what the test results mean. Or a teacher might ask a student to interpret a poem, which means to explain what the poem means. In fact, interpretation is important in many areas of life, such as business, science, and art. For example, a businessman might hire an interpreter to help him understand the culture of another country. Or a scientist might ask an expert to interpret their data, which means to help them understand what the data means. The sixth word is phenomenon. This means a remarkable or unusual event. Example: the northern lights are a natural phenomenon that amazes everyone who sees them. A phenomenon is something that happens in nature that is both interesting and unusual. It's something that people stop and say, "Wow, that's amazing." For example, the Southern Lights, or Aurora Australis, is another beautiful natural phenomenon. It's the same as the Northern Lights, but it appears in the south. Other natural phenomena include rainbows, solar and lunar eclipses, ball lightning, and even spontaneous human combustion. But we don't only find phenomena in nature. Sometimes events in society can also be considered phenomena. For example, the sudden popularity of a new dance or song can be seen as a social phenomenon. Let's go to the seventh word, which is grateful. This means thankful. Example: I'm truly grateful for your help when I needed it most. When you're grateful, you feel thankful and appreciative. Being grateful makes your heart softer and your relationships stronger. You can also say, I'm grateful to someone for doing something. This means you're thanking them for their help or kindness. For example, I'm grateful to my parents for giving me the opportunity to travel abroad. Grateful is a word you should use more often. When you focus on the positive things in your life and express gratitude for them, you'll feel happier and more content. Let's move on to the eighth word, which is inspire. This means to motivate creatively or emotionally. Example: great music can inspire you to dream bigger. When you inspire someone, you give them motivation, creativity, and energy. You light a fire inside someone's mind or heart. For example, stories about everyday heroes can inspire us to be kinder and more helpful. Or a beautiful sunset can inspire a painter to create a masterpiece. We can also talk about being inspired by people. For example, if you admire someone for their courage, their strength, or their determination, you can say you're inspired by them. Let's go to the ninth word, which is flawed. This means not perfect or having a mistake. Example: the design is beautiful, but it's flawed because it's too heavy to carry. Flawed means it works, but something inside needs fixing. For example, every person is flawed. Nobody is perfect. Everyone has weaknesses or problems. We can also talk about a flawed argument, which means an argument that has a weakness or a flaw in its logic. Let's look at another example. Despite its flaws, the phone is still functional. That means although the phone has problems, it still works. The last word is emphasize. This means to give importance to something. Example: teachers always emphasize the need to practice every day. When you emphasize, you make sure people don't miss the point. For example, if you want to tell someone something very important, you can say, I want to emphasize this point. We can also emphasize something by using a stronger tone of voice or by repeating a phrase. And that's it for today, my friend. 10 smart English words. Now they're yours. And remember, don't just listen and then forget. Try to use these words when you speak, when you write, and even when you think. Because the more you use a word, the more it becomes part of you. Keep practicing, keep learning, and keep speaking with confidence.